think that you start first of all with an evaluation process that is fair across the board. And that, I think, goes to the heart of how do we define what's an effective teacher. I don't think that varies whether you're in a low performance school or a high performance school or a magnet school in terms of what an effective teacher is. I think that the difference can be the resources that are available in a low performance school versus the resources that may be available in a magnet school. In many cases, the job in a low performance school can be much more difficult, but still what you consider an effective teacher pretty much is someone who is getting the job done and students are learning what it is they're supposed to learn. That's effective. In a low performance school, of course, there are challenges that in some cases teachers in low performance schools may have to overcome, where teachers in high performance school or high resourced schools may not have to come. But I don't think that changes the definition of effective. It certainly changes the challenges that you have to confront before you can become effective. And so maybe those teachers, and I believe teachers who teach in very difficult schools, that they should be, that we must look at, should those teachers earn more based on the level of challenges they have to overcome? But also believe that school districts must look at those schools and help to remove some of those challenges by saying we may need to fund those schools differently. We may need to put more resources in those schools so that those teachers don't have to fight by themselves to overcome the challenges sometimes that confront them. I played a little high school basketball. I wasn't that good, but my point is I wasn't good enough to get a scholarship to college. Man, I wish I could have. But then there are college basketball players who aren't good enough to get into the NBA. And my point here is that even in high school, you have some high school players who are good in high school, but then when they go to college, they're not good enough to become the best in college because the skill level that is required on the college level is much greater than on the high school level. And then there are athletes who are great in college, but then they're not ready for the NBA. Why? Because the NBA requires a different level of skills. I look at teaching in a low performance school, a high poverty school. These are NBA. You got to have NBA skills to teach in a low performing, high poverty school district. That's the bottom line. So it requires you to have a skill level that is NBA talent. And I think that is what we have to begin to look at, is that yes, there are challenges in low performing school districts that are much greater in many cases than in not so low performing school districts that may have the resources. But the kids are coming as they are. The question becomes, do we have the kind of teachers, and are we developing the kind of teachers who can bring NBA talent to the low performing school district? Because that's what's required.